The best format I've found with our KSU students is an experience-based format for the resume. This leverages their work experience and on-the-job training very positively in the light of a potential employer. When you look at the model, it also includes 5 key components. An experience-based format begins with the contact information.
Personal contact information is very important, and it's at the top of the resume, right front and center, and it should include your name, not a nickname, but a formal name. Don't leave them guessing if it's TJ Blair, what TJ stands for, because they're going to need your formal name for any type of search or background. You have your address in there. If you're a student, make sure you're going to have an address listed there that's going to be relevant. If it's the end of the semester and you're about to leave, you don't put your campus address on there. You want to make sure you have maybe your parents' address or someone who's going to be able to get back to you in a timely fashion regarding any contacts by the potential employer. Your telephone number, having a cell phone number in there, just put that little C in the side, and that should be the most immediate contact point that you have. And then some specific comments should be made regarding email addresses. I know there's this transition from a student life into a professional life, but you want to be losing some of the vestiges of the student life. If your email address is like this one, 2drunks@aol.com, that's not terribly professional in the eyes of an employer. Another common faux pas committed by students is to include their existing employer's email address in their contact with new potential employers. That, again, is very unprofessional. So if you're Sally Morgan, go to a Gmail account, whatever it might be. A third point is that if you're a tech professional, you're advertising yourself, you're positioning yourself in this employment opportunity as a savvy tech professional, you don't really want to have a Hotmail address. Get a Gmail address, get something that screams you're in this millennium and not living in the past. One warning, never box your information. It's not a mailing label here, and if you have that particular key information scanned, many times they go through optical scanning systems at employers that get 6,000 resumes a month. Those lines, those border lines, are going to disrupt the key coding of that information. So never box that key personal contact information.
A very key component in an experience-based resume is where you clarify your aspirations for employment, the job that you seek, the employment situation that you want, and your aspirations for development with that employer for the future. That's the second main component, a career goal statement.
Now, what does a great career goal statement include? A great career goal statement should be limited to one sentence. The individual reading that career goal statement of yours should be able to determine what you're seeking, what specific job you're applying for, hopefully tailored to their industry, saying that you're fully aware of the employment opportunities in that particular industry, whether it be fashion, retailing, manufacturing, the carpet industry, whatever it might be. It means you've done your homework, tailor it to that, and then always wind up with this providing opportunities for personal and professional growth. That means you are future oriented. You are looking at, once you get into that employment situation, of expanding through accomplishments your career opportunities and potential.
Probably one of the most important leveraging opportunities with an experience-based resume for our KSU students is where they share their past experience and accomplishments for prior employers. And that is done in the third stage, and that third component is the work experience section.
The reason this is the most important segment of your resume is that for our KSU students, they have some work experience. They have work experience that tells that potential employer that they can add value. Now, work experience can be presented a number of different ways. If you use a paragraph format, and I see a lot of students relying on that, it's just an endless stream of lines, and the reader is forced to try to pick out what's important from what isn't important, as we see here. But what I like to do is to advocate the movement of a format that emphasizes job bullets. In that work experience section, nothing says more about you than action verbs starting out every line of the work experience you have per employer. Action words like supervised versus managed. All right? Both might communicate the same thing, but one's much more powerful, and that is supervised. Or that argument of coordinated versus implemented. Implemented always wins in my mind and in most employers' minds. You also want to include things like numbers and dollars, the language of business in a great job bullet. These job bullets should just sing with succinct contributions, and we want to frame them. How long did it take you to accomplish it? Can you work under tight schedules? Have you done this for a year or 2 years? When did you start? When did you finish? All of those deadlines and time references are very important to a potential employer. And then when we're looking at the whole transition from your first jobs to your most recent job, you are going to communicate the scope, how you've increased in responsibility levels, skills required to perform the job. All of those things should bring you right up to date as the most successful candidate for this particular position. So this is really where you hit the home run if you're a KSU student. You start with those early jobs, you convince that employer that you've already been in the world of work, you know how to contribute, you know that business keeps score with dollars and time frames and contributions to the bottom line, and you want to emphasize those in the work experience section.
One component of this experience-based resume that many times is out of order for our KSU students, since they've been pursuing their degrees for 4, 5, 6, 7 years, is dealing with their formal education. And the fourth component then is education.
A good section on education should be including the following. Number one, the formal degree should be listed there. Many times our students at KSU don't even know what degree they're getting. I have a bachelor's of business, a bachelor's of management. No, if you're here at KSU, you're in the School of Business pursuing a BBA, a bachelor's of business administration. Write out all those words. Don't abbreviate it. That formal listing is really your claim to fame. Don't shortcut it. Also, you want to include the institution and its location. Well, we all know where Kennesaw is. National employers might not. So below that name of the institution, you want to always include the city, the state, where are we located. Don't confuse education with some of the other experiences you've had that have bordered on training. If you received a certificate for Pilates training, for instance, it doesn't go here against your bachelor's of business administration. Military training doesn't go in this section here. Apprenticeships, maybe you've been in a 5-year electrician's apprenticeship. It's a great accomplishment for you. It took a lot of time, but it doesn't go here for the types of jobs that our BBA students typically apply for. Now here's a little technique, a little tip for how to position yourself before you've graduated, before you can claim that degree. If you put the word candidate, Bachelor's of Business Administration candidate, at the end of that formal degree list, you are saying that you are awaiting graduation. And you can put in parens below it, expected graduation, May 2000, whatever it might be, but somewhere into the future. But that permits you to have the formal degree on your resume, and when they do a search based on that degree, that search will come up. Candidate there will qualify and say you're not claiming they have a degree you don't have yet, but it is anticipated, and here's the date that it's going to be accomplished.